Day 2 of Augustus Thorne's charter aboard the Yachty by Nature, where the champagne is vintage and anxiety is practically the crew uniform. Our intrepid Milton twins, bless their silver-spooned hearts, are slumming it as staff huddled in the crew mess, a charming little shoebox that shrinks in direct proportion to the guest's already gargantuan ego. Their noble mission? Unearth dusty family secrets and track down their birth mother. Their current, far less glamorous reality, making minimal progress while bickering about lipstick shades with the intensity of Cold War spies, while fulfilling the outrageous requests of one Augustus Thorne, whose grip on reality is looser than the yacht's rigging in a hurricane.
Are you trying to signal passing cruise ships with that lipstick, Jenny? Morse code for send help and better snacks.
You might have better luck polishing that silverware if you used a cloth, not individual napkins. Anyway, the initials E.D. on the necklace? Elliott, obviously. And the lipstick? This shade of Carolina Red was the color in 2019 for women who summered and owned small islands. We need to pinpoint its retail origins. Think Monaco, Saint-Tropez, any port of call where one might accidentally purchase a diamond tiara after one too many Bellinis. Ugh, this reminds me of the time I tried to rescue that endangered species of coral from that 3-star Michelin restaurant in Ez.
Didn't that involve you and a terrified maitre d' and a daring escape via laundry chute that unfortunately emptied directly into the pastry kitchen?
Dad called in a huge favor to make sure that those details were kept out of the American press. How could he possibly have known that? Did you Google me on the dark web? Do you have Tor? Ew.
No. It must have been something I saw in a tabloid in Prague.
Ugh, well, that makes sense. I pissed off the Czech pops when I wouldn't let them get a clear shot of me getting handsy at a club with someone whose name may or may not sound like Schmakeup Schmalordy. They're a salty bunch. Wait, when were you in Prague?
2 years ago. Followed a girl on holiday. Wouldn't recommend that. Yeah. So yeah, I was there 2 years ago.
Oh my God, I could never.
Yeah, it was rather embarrassing.
No, I think it's brave AF. I wish I could follow my heart the way that you did. Just really go for it, you know?
Hey, we're twins. If I'm brave, that means you've got to be too. So, what's the plan to find the origin story of this lipstick? Hack into global luxury retail databases while simultaneously navigating Captain Lucas's provisioning spreadsheet?
Oh, Captain Lucas. Since Mr. Augustus Thorne graced them with his presence, our dear captain has developed a spine, or rather a particularly rigid broomstick where one should be. His newfound obsession with the rules is truly something to behold. Makes a North Korean military parade look like a casual beach hang.
Stringent? Is that what we're calling it? I have experience in unorthodox information retrieval, unlike some people who are still struggling with shiny side up. And speaking of struggles, Thorne was practically x-raying Collie with his eyeballs earlier. Ugh, it was deeply unsettling, like a gilded kraken eyeing a tasty sailor.
X-raying how? What specifically was the beast doing? And while we're on your colourful resume, did your unorthodox information retrieval skills ever involve, say, I don't know, ending up on a no-fly list for a minor European principality?
Details. It was a very small principality. Now shine faster. We have to hurry through the checklist so that we can continue research. I forgot how hard work is.
And what was your last job that prepped you for this level of high-stakes hide-and-seek?
I was the chair of the American Polo League Events Board. You'd be surprised how many secrets are hidden under those big hats.
I bet this chump Thorne has even more secrets.
Little Danny Milton, bless his suddenly activated conscience, seems watching his sister and the perpetually stoic Collie get verbally waterboarded by Thorne has awakened something resembling a protective instinct. It's almost cute, in a puppy trying to fight a vacuum cleaner kind of way.
Attention, YBN crew! My premium charter fee includes your undivided attention and my complete autonomy over the comms. I keep unconventional hours. You will too. Furthermore, the air in my suite is offensively pedestrian. It lacks the subtle bouquet of impending societal collapse. Rectify. And the chef's sun-kissed fruit platter was an insult to solar bodies everywhere.
I should check if Cully needs a human shield or a strong alibi.
Daniel, focus. The lipstick. Here's my plan. I accidentally tripped near Thorne's open laptop, a strategically full glass of water in hand. I offer to help. And Bob's your uncle. I'm surfing his hard drive using whatever boosted Wi-Fi this dark wizard of tech has to find out everything we can about Elliott. It's like the time I convinced my art history professor that his prize-winning chihuahua had developed a taste for priceless Renaissance sketches. The ensuing panic bought me 3 extra days to study.
No, absolutely not. We are not waterboarding any electronics, Jenny, or blaming phantom chihuahuas. We need a plan that doesn't involve a potential Interpol warrant.
Ugh, fine. But we do need intel. So while Thorne is being Thorne, we dig.
So, we have Jenny, a walking champagne supernova of questionable decisions, and Daniel, who's just now realizing his sister's factory settings might be permanently stuck on chaos. Meanwhile, in the galley, or as Gianmarco likes to call it, his altar of gastronomic disappointment, our chef, bless his delusional debt-ridden soul, has decided to impress Thorne with something called austerity chic, a meditation on a single, probably depressed sardine. Spoiler, it's less chic and more tragic.
Fascinating. Is this a meal or a cry for help? Because if it's the latter, consider me deeply concerned for your general well-being. And the sardine looks traumatized. Remove it, and its tiny, judgmental eye.
As Jenny finishes up her research, Daniel is on service. Today, this mostly involves patting Gianmarco's heaving shoulders, while Thorne, clearly bored with conventional torture, dispatches Daniel on a quest for an apple with the essence of a pear. While Daniel is wrestling with fruit-based philosophy, Jenny, hunched over the crew mess's notoriously unreliable laptop, hits pay dirt.
He made me conduct a full Freudian analysis of 3 different apples before he'd even consider one. Then, after settling on Granny Smith with latent abandonment issues, he demanded organic, dew-kissed, virgin-picked raspberries, each to be presented on a separate, chilled mother-of-pearl spoon. You know, Jen, those debauched polo matches you frequented, did you ever have to, fetch the debauchery, or were you always the one causing it from a velvet throne?
Fetch? Darling, please. My role was purely supervisory. Ensuring the champagne fountains didn't run dry, and that at least one minor royal made a questionable life choice that would end up in the tabloids, you know. Oh, there was that charity auction where I accidentally bid on a racehorse that I thought was a very avant-garde sculpture. I named him Sir Reginald von Huffington. We had some wild nights, Reggie and I, before Dad found out. Mainly involving terrified valets and a lot of sugar cubes.
Sir Reginald von Huffington, of course. So, hand-feeding raspberries to a man who thinks apples have childhood trauma would have been off-brand for you?
Wait. The site that I just found while researching high-end boutiques and services on the Riviera is a fortress. Riviera Rosettes. Discreet information services, their site whispers. The security questions are from another dimension. Password associated with your first phantom limb? This is definitely where Elliott would have gone. Okay, password. What do I know about her birth mom? Lying woman who disappeared into the wind? Oh, well, that didn't work. Possibly blackmailed into lying about having twins. Nope. Come on.
Jen, I don't think that technique is working.
Fine. Okay, what do we know about Carolina Red? The lipstick shade. Maybe this all fits together. Bingo! I'm in! Oh my god! There's tons of information here. Elliott, you magnificent woman.
Yes.
Okay, Riviera Rosettes, a hyper-discreet concierge service. If she was using them, especially around the time that Dad started talking about taking Milton Holdings public years ago. Daniel, listen to this! Riviera Rosettes managed a blind trust for Elliott. Payments made untraceable. This is how she survived, how she stayed hidden. But the access logs stopped cold about 5 years ago. No activity since.
A blind trust. Maybe Riviera Rosette knows who the trustees were.
Aha! Our little socialite turned sleuth has a lead. A real, actual clue. This is almost like a proper investigation. If you ignore the fact it's being conducted by someone whose primary skill set involves accidentally insulting minor European royalty.
Did you find anything interesting?
Almost. Thorne was on some bizarre conference call. Kept talking about a Nightingale and accelerating timelines for asset acquisition. Sounded like he was buying another island or a sports team. Then he saw me, slammed the phone down, and asked if I'd ever considered a career in professional cowering.
Daniel, the sock drawer, it needs an intervention. We're not going chronologically, we're not going by color. We're going by emotional impact. The socks I wore when I crushed that hostile takeover, front and center. The ones from that unfortunate weekend in Gstaad with the questionable fondue. Banish them to the back. With feeling. You'll know. I'll know.
Emotional impact of socks? He's not even trying to be subtle about his sadism anymore, is he? Or maybe he's just trying to distract you. After that phone call?
Ah, the yachty by nature. A floating petri dish of class warfare, where the rich get richer and the staff get, well, they get to yodel. And apparently also become unwitting pawns in some billionaire's opaque financial chess game. Our resident billionaire, Augustus Thorne, has decided that Collie's afternoon will be spent arranging his collection of imported volcanic rocks by geothermal angst. Yes, you heard that right. Daniel, meanwhile, has been assigned the thrilling task of finding an elusive bottle of scotch Thorne acquired from a flailing billionaire in Macau.
Such diligence, Collie. Almost mechanical. I wonder what truly motivates such flawless servitude. Loyalty? Or just a keen understanding of the precariousness of one's employment?
Oh, the shade! You could chill champagne with that comment. Collie naturally doesn't flinch, but Daniel, lurking in the doorway of Thorne's opulent study and trying very hard not to look like he's casing the joint, feels a fresh wave of, I want to turn this billionaire into chum rage. While pretending to search for an elusive scotch, Daniel's eyes dart around. And there, on Thorne's massive mahogany desk, almost hidden beneath a stack of offensively ostentatious art auction catalogues, Daniel sees a slim leather-bound file. The gold-embossed label reads, Milton Holdings, Project Nightingale, Confidential.
Project Nightingale? What in the actual...
Today, Daniel. No, Collie. The obsidian is clearly exhibiting far too much passive aggression. It needs to be juxtaposed with the more overtly tormented pumice. And for God's sake, use the tiny silver tongs. We're not savages. About damn time. Now, go polish the rail in front of me. I want to see myself.
Collie, beneath her impenetrable professional veneer, adjusts a rock by a millimeter. Daniel's polishing becomes so vigorous you'd think he was trying to buff out Thorne's entire personality. He's practically vibrating with suppressed rage. Jenny, fresh from another soul-crushing encounter with Captain Lucas about the subversive undertones of her towel folding, finds Daniel looking like he's about to spontaneously combust.
Whoa there, Sparky. Trying to set a new world record for most aggressively polished railing? What did Thorne do now? Demand you alphabetize his nose hairs?
He's making Callie arrange rocks by emotional state. It's demeaning. She handles it with such grace, like nothing phases her. She's incredible, Jen. Seriously, how does she do that? Oh, I'd have thrown the pumice at his head by now.
Incredible, huh? Well. Looks like someone's got a little crush on the Ice Queen. It's cute.
Why don't we get Captain Lucas out here and we can double date?
Hey, we're talking about your unrequited crush right now, not mine. You know, if you want to impress her, I have a few ideas. We could replace Thorne's volcanic rocks with tastefully arranged dog turds. Or maybe unalphabetize his platinum collection of Gregorian chant records.
No, Jen, that's not how Collie operates. She's professional. She wouldn't. She handles things with dignity. Unlike some people who, I don't know, dose an entire charter with magic mushrooms.
Oof! And there it is. The accidental insult landing with the subtlety of a rogue anchor. Daniel, in his attempt to praise Collie, has inadvertently implied that Jenny's unique methods are somehow less admirable.
Right. So my spirited chaos isn't exactly bragging rights, is it? Or worse, just more proof that I can't do anything right. Just like Dad always... You know what? Never mind. Collie is the paragon of yachting virtue, and Lucas will never take me seriously. Got it. Thanks for the clarification, bro.
Jen, no, that's not what I meant. It's just that you're different. Collie's controlled. You're a force of nature, and it's not a bad thing. Lucas probably just doesn't know what to do with a force of nature.
Too late, Danny boy. The damage is done. Jenny, for once, looks genuinely hurt. Her usual bravado punctured. But before this delightful little sibling spat can escalate into a full-blown emotional meltdown, which frankly I was rather looking forward to, Thorne, with his impeccable timing for ruining everyone's mood, chimes in.
Children, you're fighting just like...
Co-workers, trapped on a boat in the middle of the sea together.
I hope you don't feel too trapped here with me, Daniel. And Jenny, dear, perhaps you could just demonstrate your towel folding techniques. I hear they're quite subversive.
The mood shifts from awkward family therapy to high-stakes espionage. Thorne's clearly enjoying the little show our twins are putting on.
Daniel, Lucas just made me rewrite my reports because apparently Q3 Projections doesn't have the requisite strategic foresight. He thinks I'm an idiot. I can't find anyone in this charter that thinks I'm good at anything other than being rich. I guess that's not really that different from anywhere else.
Jen, I think we have bigger fish to fry. Or rather, a much larger, much slimier snake in the grass. Project Nightingale. Ring any bells? Because it was sitting on Thorne's desk, right next to a file that practically screamed hostile takeover for dummies.
Nightingale? No, but Milton Holdings definitely rings a few 5-alarm bells. You think Thorne is actually making a play for Dad's company? That this whole charter is some kind of corporate espionage disguised as a luxury cruise? The timing is so sus. Dad's IPO was set for 2 weeks after our initial charter.
It's starting to feel a lot less like eccentric billionaire and a lot more like highly motivated shark with a very specific agenda. That phone call I overheard? It makes a lot more sense now. He's not just being a pain, Jen. He's working.
And boom! The penny drops. Or rather, a giant gold-plated anvil of realization crashes down upon our unsuspecting twins. This isn't just about a dead mother and a mysterious past anymore. This is about their father, their family, and a very real, very present danger named Augustus Thorne.
Daniel, I need a new charging cable for my semi-precious stones. And while you're at it, find Miss Milton. I have a sudden urge to discuss interior design, specifically the rather drab color palette of her professional aspirations.
And just like that, our dynamic duo is summoned. Jenny, armed with a dodgy concierge service and a new, terrifying understanding of Thorne's motives. Daniel, clutching a rat's nest of cables and the mental image of that Project Nightingale file. Oh, darlings, hold on to your expensive hats, because Mother Nature, clearly a fan of high drama, has decided to crash this tedious little party. What started as a gentle breeze has whipped itself into a proper hissy fit. A sudden, violent squall that's turning the sun deck into a chaotic ballet of flying cushions. Thorne, who is attempting to have his portrait painted by a terrified-looking drone, is particularly peeved.
My drone! My artistic integrity! Is this how you run a vessel, Lucas? Letting the sky simply attack us? Unacceptable. Unacceptable. Someone retrieve my masterpiece in progress before it achieves sentience and defects to a less aggressive environment.
Captain Lucas, whose face has gone a rather fetching shade of puce, is barking orders through the comms, his voice cracking like a pubescent choir boy. His main concern, naturally, seems to be the precise alphabetical recording of the deck chairs while they're attempting to fly into the ocean. Priorities, people. Jenny, however, spots Thorne's ridiculous drone, now doing a drunken jig towards the railing. And with the grace of a gazelle who's had slightly too much Prosecco, Jenny launches herself across the lurching deck. She makes a spectacular one-handed catch of the drone, skidding to a halt just inches from a very expensive, very wet Augustus Thorne. Lucas, observing this from the bridge, probably through binoculars the perv, actually stops barking for a full 3 seconds. His jaw drops. And was that a flicker of admiration? Or just indigestion? Hard to tell with that one.
Of course, because why secure a flapping awning when you can play fetch with a 5-figure piece of airborne narcissism?
Meanwhile, Daniel and Collie are a surprisingly effective team. He, with a newfound, rather swoon-worthy competence, wrestles a giant rogue sun umbrella that seems determined to impale Mr. Thorne. Collie, with her usual glacial calm, secures the flapping awnings. At one point, as a particularly large wave crashes over the bow, Daniel instinctively pulls Collie back, his arm briefly around her waist. Their eyes meet, just for a second. But oh, honey, a second can be a lifetime when the wind is howling and the sexual tension is thicker than Thorne's wallet.
Well, that was bracing and entirely predictable given the general level of incompetence on this floating catastrophe. Is my drone scratched? Miss Milton, your flair for the dramatic is, as always, noted. And Daniel, try not to look so heroic. It's unbecoming for the hired help.
Just ensuring that your artistic vision remains intact, Mr. Thorne. Wouldn't want your muse to catch a cold. Or, drown.
You're certifiable. You know that, right? But nice catch.
The squall, as quickly as it arrived, begins to subside. The immediate crisis is over, but the Air Darlings is still charged. Lucas is probably replaying Jenny's drone-saving dive in slow motion in his head. Daniel is definitely replaying that micro moment with Collie. And Thorne? Thorne, as always, is watching. Especially the way Jenny and Daniel instinctively found each other amidst the chaos to exchange a quick, conspiratorial grin. Night falls, and the Yachty by nature slinks through the darkness. Less a luxury vessel and more a floating powder keg with a very short, very expensive fuse. In the crew mess, our twins are marinating in a delightful stew of sibling resentment and impending doom.
Jen, Project Nightingale. That file wasn't just lying around. Thorne wanted me to see it. Or he's so arrogant he doesn't care if I did. Either way, it confirms what we suspected after that phone call I overheard. He's not just a demanding guest, he's actively targeting Dad's company. This whole charter is a Trojan horse, and we're the idiots who willed it on board.
So he's using the trip to gather intel? To find a weakness? This is beyond his usual make the staff weep into their cannabis routine. This is diabolical.
Look, what I said earlier about Collie and you and Lucas, I didn't mean it like that. You're not uncaptain material, you're just a lot. In a good way, mostly. Collie's just different. She's got this incredible calm, even when Thorne is being a complete, Thorne. I admire that. Maybe a little too much, if I'm being honest. It's just hard to watch him treat her like that.
Admire her a little too much, huh? So Operation Swoon over the Stoic Stew is officially a go? I get it. She's got that whole unattainable ice princess vibe. Very chic. And for the record, Lucas would probably have a conniption if I replaced his perfectly aligned navigation charts with a collage of my greatest party moments. You're not wrong.
Aww, a moment of sibling honesty. How unexpectedly mature. Don't worry, darlings, it won't last. Just as our twins are about to perhaps, dare I say, connect on a vaguely human level, the comms crackle, shattering the peace like a drop bottle of vintage champagne.
Miss Milton? Daniel? My sweet. Now, I've been doing some light tidying, and I've stumbled upon something rather illuminating pertaining to your extracurricular activities on my vessel. Don't dally. My curiosity is piqued.
Extracurricular activities. Not ominous at all. The spider has been busy. Our twin flies are summoned.
He knows. He knows we know he knows.
What?
What do we do?
Stay calm. He's fishing. We don't know what he actually knows. Stick to our story. We're just crew, doing our jobs badly.
Right. Operation Clueless but increasingly terrified. Let's go. And if he offers tea, we decline. Probably poisoned.
Ah, Miss Milton, Daniel. So good of you to join me. Your collaborative efforts today have been quite something. The drone rescue, Daniel's sudden interest in my private study. One might almost think you were searching for something. It's all quite illuminating, especially when one considers certain past associations and the rather eventful nature of some charters on this vessel. People do leave traces, don't they? And some secrets have a way of resurfacing. You see, Miss Milton, I've been doing a little light reading about your father's impeccable diamond business and the general entanglements that can occur in high society. It makes one wonder what other little secrets are being tucked away. Or perhaps being actively sought on this very yacht? Your combined curiosity is quite noticeable.
Mr. Thorne, actually, we were just... Captain Lucas needs us to double-check the emergency glitter supply for the mandatory morale-boosting disco night. We should...
Yes, the glitter. Very important. And the tiny cocktail umbrellas. He said they weren't jaunty enough. We really must go. Come on, Jenny.
Hi, darling. Augustus. Listen, I'd like to talk to you about what really happened, my dearest Margot.